Today we're going to be discussing the Apple TV. So let me get my desktop up here. Let me resize this. And actually I think if I were to do this and then I'm going to change this real fast to my monitor. That way you can see that better. And I'm going to put my that there. And this here. And I'm going to put my face in. So wait 1 second and I'll get my face in. And there he is. There's the man himself. Alright. I'm going to put that here. And I'm going to put this on top. And... Alright. Oh, don't do that. Alright. And there we go. Alright, so we're going to be discussing the Apple TV here. Let me just go to Apple's website. And I'm going to put the stream in the Discord server. And then we'll discuss. Because there's some concerns about the Apple TV that that I think Apple's very behind the competition. So... Alright, so if we were to go to the Apple TV website, I'm also going to pull up the simulator. File, open simulator tvOS. Alright, so right here we have our Apple TV and our beautiful simulator. While it's loading, I like to say Apple's behind the competition. But Apple has the opportunity. They have all the technology that they need to be higher than the competition. No V1 US allowed? What do you mean by that? Alright. So I'm going to window... Where's the remote? Sure, Apple TV remote. Alright. So... Here's my remote right here. You see we have the old remote. That's fine. But... Have you ever heard of WebOS? That has something called a built-in web browser. Not sure if you guys know what that is, but the Apple TV does not have that built in. Yeah, so we do not have a built-in web browser to the Apple TV, unfortunately. Apple could easily add that to the Apple TV, and I'm not sure what it's doing, but whatever. And... if Apple were to add a web browser to the Apple TV, things would be a lot better on the Apple TV already. They could easily do it with a remote right here. This is basically a trackpad. So, if I were to move it around, you could have a cursor on there, and this trackpad over here moves things around. And you just press enter, and then it's just a lot more... It's a lot better than just having the actual thing. And I'm pretty sure WebKit does support... If you were to press this, you can select an element on the screen and then press the button. Really easy for Apple to take advantage of the remote on the Apple TV for Safari. It would be so much better than what WebOS is doing, where you have to like move your remote around and that's where a cursor is, and then you press OK, and then yeah, it's just really complicated. Apple could just take advantage of their Apple TV remote and make Safari really good on the Apple TV. Now, what I really like about the Apple TV is that their support for A/B capture framework, which is, yeah, the Apple Watch has a built-in web browser, but not the Apple TV. That's really weird. But if we can get the Apple TV a web browser, things would be a lot better already. Also, real fast, I'm going to compile something for the Apple TV. And I'm going to show you something. Apple's kind of limiting with the... kind of doing something. It's basically iOS but for the TV. Let me go to tvOS and compile. Alright. So while that's compiling, I like to talk about limitations between tvOS that iOS does not have. For example, Apple TV starts freaking out a little bit if you... someone needs browser on TV. Yes. Yes, they need to keep up with the competition. So, if we were to So there's a limiting framework for the file manager framework where the Apple TV just starts freaking out, not knowing what to do. So then if you reach a certain limit, it just erases all those files. Really stupid. So back in the day, Microsoft and Apple teamed up to port Minecraft to the Apple TV. Now how they do that? They used iCloud to store it, which was probably their only option. Nowadays we have Swift data that we can use on the Apple TV. However, Swift data is very limiting, whereas File Manager, you could store a lot more things in there. So, if we were to be able to have full File Manager support, like the Apple TV has 128 gigabytes and 64 and 32, what are we going to use that storage for? I guess the 32 gigabyte Apple TVs, but 64, really? What are we doing on our Apple TVs that requires that much storage? Which I think is a little bit interesting to have right there. I'm moving this around. Alright, just so you can see my face a little bit better. But why do we have 64 gigabytes and 128 gigabytes on our Apple TVs? What are we using that for? Streaming services? Yeah, I don't think so. Now, something else that Apple has recently done is they deprecated their JavaScript frameworks for the Apple TV, which basically just was the common standard for TV apps. So WebOS, VisiOS, TizenOS all have this JavaScript framework, and it's universal. However, Apple TV just decided to completely deprecate it, so that means that if this JavaScript framework, which I forget what it's called, I forget what it's called, but this JavaScript framework was basically, 64, download all background animation videos. That doesn't take 64 gigabytes. It probably takes like 3 or 4 gigabytes at the most. Like on my Apple TV, I still have like 40 gigabytes left. So yeah, somewhere in that range. Alright. But why do we have this much storage on the Apple TV? Now, I was thinking, what if Apple ported their weather app to the Apple TV? That would be something that could be really easy for Apple to do, since it's already coded in UIKit and Swift UI, and they ported it to Mac. And let me get this remote right here. Is it not compiling? I'm trying to compile something. Okay, yeah, we don't have clipboard support, and iOS or OS Vision. Sorry about that. So I can't compile it at this time, so I'll need to make a few code changes. Yeah. So, if Apple could port the weather app to the Apple TV, things would be a lot better. You can use the TV as a to-do list. So, adding reminders to the Apple TV, reading your notes. I wouldn't expect to have a full-on notes app on the Apple TV. That could be kind of a gimmick. But you can connect keyboards to the Apple TV. So if you really wanted a notes app on the Apple TV, that could make sense. All these apps are already made in UIKit for the most part, and a little bit of Swift UI. So why not Apple just brings them over to the Apple TV, and they'll be able to optimize it a little bit. And that would be tvOS 19, the big revolution to tvOS. Alright, anybody have any ideas for the Apple TV? Yeah, I'm not making Willy To Do. It's a weird name as well. Alright. Yeah. Okay. So let's look at the store. Oh no, we don't have the storage on here. So this is your general settings. Oh wait. I think it's in system. What is this? Why is this update not in general? It's weird. Alright, yeah, the TV settings are really inconsistent with iOS. Well, who cares? It's the Apple TV. Yeah. Hello, welcome to the stream. Haha, it's gonna be 20. Okay. I don't know. I can't seem to find the storage settings in the sim. Oh, here it is. I knew it was in here. Oh, it doesn't work as expected. All right, my background app refresh is on here. I think I saw, yeah, background app refresh. Yeah, so we have background app refresh on the Apple TV. That is, so since we have background app refresh on the Apple TV, we got a lot that we can do with the Apple TV. So the Apple TV is derived from iOS already. However, they did cut a few things out from iOS. For example, there's no clipboard support on the Apple TV. There's no file, like the file manager. It does exist on the Apple TV, but it's very limiting. You have to be very wise on what you do with file manager, or else tvOS will just delete all those files. It's really stupid that tvOS does that. It's just crazy to know, but unfortunately that happens. We don't need Willy widgets on the Apple TV. Also, I have a question for some of you. Are you able to see this stream in YouTube Shorts? Because that's the reason why it's vertical like this, just so we could get it on YouTube Shorts. Yeah, but yeah, unfortunately, tvOS is very limiting. Like, we have the advantage to add the Notes app. What if there was a universal app that took all of your data and just put it on the big screen, like the Summary app, or maybe when your TV turns on, it says good morning. And yeah, there's a lot of things. I keep trying to use this remote. Shorts, I'm on a phone. Yeah, so basically why the stream is vertical like this is just so people can try scrolling through Shorts and they'll eventually see the stream. I'm experimenting, so if it doesn't really work out, then I'll revert back. I'm going to try it for a few of the streams, but it looks like our peak was 4 viewers at the time, so okay, cool. Alright. So, with the Apple TV, we can get, like, I already proved a lot of people wrong that we can get productivity on the Apple TV with my app, Willy Study. So it's just this app right here. However, I did have to strip a few things out, like the Discover tab right here. And I'm going to delete this. That's not supposed to be there. All right. So with the Discover tab, I had to strip that. Themes, I don't think will be coming to the Apple TV. Yeah, but we got a lot of things. Like, I ported this entire Mac app all the way to iOS and then derived it all the way to tvOS. Like, I proved a lot of people wrong by making a studying app. And I guess for some people it would be useful where you just study on the Apple TV. Like, just imagine that. Study on the big screen. But yeah. I'm pretty sure we can get notifications pretty easily on the Apple TV. So, right in this little sidebar right here, we have something that pops up like AirPods. Sometimes it pops up. But if we just got general notifications, like the notification framework is not on the Apple TV. None of them are. Pretty sure there are 2. You have macOS on TV. We do not need macOS on the Apple TV. We also have an A12 or A10X chip, along with the A15 chip, and I'm pretty sure we'll get the A18 chip. What are all these chips doing? Like, why they're pretty much all being wasted on just being on an Apple TV. Like, the biggest, like the most hard thing for the TVs to do for the most part is the web frameworks, which Apple really wants all the TV developers to switch over to SwiftUI, which is, and UIKit. They want them to reprogram their apps natively instead of just using the common TV framework. Also, while we talk about the Apple TV, I'm going to have a bit of lunch since I went to the mall and yeah, and I just got lunch, Taco Bell. Yeah. Anybody else have any A18 equals AI? I don't think Apple Intelligence will be coming to the Apple TV. Unless they just bring the memories with the Photos app. But yeah, I don't think there's going to be a lot of Apple Intelligence things we can do with the Apple TV. Oh, there's like a taco in here. Taco shell, that's cool. Alright, I got a crunch wrap from Taco Bell. Yeah. Actually, thinking about Apple Intelligence, Apple would want to do something to get people to upgrade to the Apple TV. However, I'm kind of surprised that Apple Intelligence is not on Vision OS, which is a little bit weird. In Siri, they could, yeah, we could get our good Siri. Oh, not talking to you.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah, but Siri on the Apple TV? Personally, I don't use that myself. Does it exist here? Wait, oh, it's this button. I don't want to use dictation. I just want... Oh, we got Spotlight Search on the Apple TV. When did that exist? Search TV, movies, or music. Yeah. Make Siri know what movies you like to watch at a certain time. I'm pretty sure we need to like have some sort of API for developers to do that. Which, judging how the APIs are on the Apple TV, a lot of developers just don't use them. The only ones I could think of are Netflix and Disney Plus are the only ones that really do that, and Paramount. And pretty much every single TV app is not native on the Apple TV. It uses the common framework that other TVs use, which Apple deprecated in tvOS 18, if you didn't know that. So yeah. Also, there's Control Center. We are at a Control Center. However, it's resemblant of the iOS 11 to 17 Control Center, which is a little bit weird. Completely forgot about the crash where if you hover over audio in the simulator, it just crashes, which is just a weird bug inside the simulator. But yeah, hopefully Apple can fix that in tvOS 19. Yeah. But yeah. Ad intense on the Apple TV. The Siri on here is just pretty much useless. But it is inside, but we do have the Grandma series, what I like to call it, where the non-Apple Intelligence Siri is actually present in tvOS. Because, if you didn't know, HomePod OS is actually just tvOS, but optimized for a HomePod. Which is a little bit, yeah, which is really cool to see that Apple's just reusing tvOS on the HomePod. If you didn't know that, common fun fact about tvOS and HomePods is that it's just tvOS just on a HomePod. Also, we need to keep in mind, pretty much every TV that you buy nowadays is completely smart. So that means, why would you buy an Apple TV just to watch your favorite shows? So, if you didn't know, my TV only has Netflix, really. And, yeah. It's a little bit of an older TV, which is why I have an Apple TV. But if I had a relatively newer TV, why would I get an Apple TV? Because all I would really get are animations and sounds. And that's pretty much it. There may be some Apple ecosystem features, but not a whole lot. Yeah. Add Apple Intelligence to TV when Apple on their own could show the movies that they think you would like on their home screen. Yeah, home screen's kind of useless. Like, you can, developers, if you put it on the dock right here, you can make it show different shows, or you just make it show an image. I personally don't show any shows or images or study sets on the Apple TV. But, yeah, what if there was, like, you pressed and held the pause and the play button or something, or press and hold the Siri button. Yeah, use Siri. Wait. Yeah, we do have Siri on here. However, I can't talk to her. Okay, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, like, you press and held, no pause and the play button, and Siri would just, not Siri, but Apple Intelligence would tell you what shows you would like to watch in that app, based on your viewing history before. No other apps or TV shows will be able to see what you've been watching. An Apple Intelligence will just pull from the internet, maybe from cloud compute, and it would bring it over to the TV. That would be very useful. Something that I would personally like myself. Alright, so let's talk about so far bringing Apple's apps, bringing Safari to the Apple TV, bringing Apple Intelligence to the TV. I guess that would be something that we could see actually now. Yeah. Apple TV collects data. However, it would be fully encrypted, and only the algorithms would be able to see what data is being... Oh, yeah. Image Playground. It's already a weird app as it is. Like, let me just pull up Image Playground real fast. It's already a weird app as it is. Like, how is this Mac OS-y? It's not very useful at all, yeah. Also, the point of Image Playground is to, like, take an image and drag it into an app. That's the point of Image Playground, and then how would we be able to get the search? We could get search in pretty easily, but Apple's search APIs are currently on top, so yeah. Yeah, ChatGPT, we can get ChatGPT with the Apple Intelligence Apple TV, for sure. That would be a good thing for it. But when this exists, I'm gonna put Santa and see if it is better. Alright. Anti-Claus. Alright. Let me fix that. Alright. I have to rebuild the app if they were to put it on first. Not necessarily. They wouldn't need to rebuild it, but they would need to optimize it. Because SwiftUI and UIKit are both present on the Apple TV. And I'm pretty sure Image Playground's pure SwiftUI. Yeah. Okay, the illustrations are pretty good. I'm gonna dislike this image because yeah, I'm not gonna deal with that right now. But yeah, you can see Image Playground works pretty well on here. Except it's not with the competition as of right now, unfortunately. But yeah. I want to create logos and icons. Yeah, I already proved that the Apple TV can be a productivity device with the introduction of Willy Study last year on the Apple TV. There's a lot of things, yeah. Yeah, Image Playground is highly centered like Google's Imagen. Google's Imagen is much better than Apple Intelligence. Like, I use Google Imagen. Produces so much better images. Like, I'm pretty sure Google's training off of like all the images off the internet because they have that and all that. Meanwhile, Apple's like storing all the images on the device, which is a lot. I'm not sure how I feel about Apple Intelligence just storing all that, but if it's on the Apple TV, maybe if it fetches from the Apple TV. This video is sponsored by Willy Study, haha. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think it's because Apple Intelligence is censoring it, because Google's Imagen works a lot better. Like, even some of the images I generated look really good today, even though all the advancements that Imagen has gotten. Alright. Anything else we can add to the Apple TV? Also, if Apple were to add the cursor support on the remote, that would make things a whole lot better. Instead of having the selecting APIs, you would just be able to click, go down, left. You would just be able to select it like a mouse cursor on the Apple TV. That would be very useful, especially for productivity apps, like I said before. And yeah, you can add a whole new suite of apps for productivity on the Apple TV. Also, anybody else agree that FaceTime's a gimmick on the Apple TV? Because that is a little bit of an interesting thing that they added to the Apple TV. So, anybody agree that Copilot, not Copilot, I see Copilot in there. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, FaceTime was a gimmick on the Apple TV. I have no idea why that was added to begin with. Yeah. At that point, FaceTime's on the Apple TV. We can get Xcode on the Apple TV. Just imagine how cool that would be. Just kidding. Or, yeah. Alright. Now I'm going to end the stream right here. Mostly because I have no more ideas about what could be added to the Apple TV besides Apple's own apps, Safari, and maybe opening up File Manager to support more apps on the Apple TV. Bring a whole new suite of apps and trackpad support on the remote for apps if they want that, instead of just the selection API, since, gonna be completely honest, the selection API is not that good on the Apple TV. And Apple Intelligence on the Apple TV. However, I will be back on Friday talking about the Apple Watch and the reasons why I want to completely ditch the Apple Watch to begin with. Yeah, I don't have Safari on the Apple TV. I even want Xcode on the Apple Watch. Crazy. Yeah, I was joking about the Xcode thing on the Apple TV. That would not make sense at all. But yeah, if they were able to add the trackpad support, that would make the Apple TV a whole lot better. I'm pretty sure there are browsers, but you gotta like sideload them on the Apple TV with a developer ID, and it's just not worth it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I will be back on Friday, and we will be talking about the Apple Watch. I promise I'll be a lot more interesting, because to be completely honest, I don't like the Apple Watch to begin with anymore. I used to like it, defend it. Now, not so much, because, yeah, I will be talking about the Apple Watch on Friday. I'll see you then. And thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, share stream with your friends. I'll see you on Friday, or maybe this week if Apple releases a beta. Bye!